All right, here we are at the signing table. And we're about to sign the paperwork. All right, we just came out of the title company, signed the paperwork, and we're done. All right, so in this video, I want to talk about the loan process that I went through to close on the land. The land I just purchased is here in South Texas, so just be aware the lending process may be different where you're located. Just a note, I'm a licensed real estate agent in the state of Texas, but I'm going to be primarily talking about the loan experience in this video. I'm not a licensed mortgage lender, so this is just my experience, not necessarily advice to you. Now, there are going to be two parts to this process in my personal situation. The first is that I applied and was approved for a home equity loan. Why did I get a home equity loan? Because most land requires larger down payment, and if you don't have enough cash on hand, a home equity loan is a way to get the needed cash. When I was shopping for a home equity lender, I learned that not all home lenders offer home equity loans. I reached out to my trusted lender contact, and he gladly got me in contact with Frost Bank, which is a regional bank here in San Antonio. So you may be asking, what is a home equity loan? Well, it's essentially what it sounds like. It's getting a loan based on the equity in your house. In my situation, I own a house that is worth $319,000 and my loan balance is $185,000. So the equity is $134,000. Now that doesn't mean that you'll be able to get a loan for $134,000. I've heard that you can get a loan for maybe as much as 80 to 85% of the equity. But in my situation, I took about 50% or $67,000. Okay, so here's the promissory note for the home equity loan. And as you can see there, where the red arrow is, there is the payment, the monthly payment of $443.96, and that's 240 payments, which is a 20-year loan. And down at the bottom, you can see the amount financed is $67,982. Now, because home equity loans are very similar to a home purchase loan, get ready to have your credit pulled, tax returns reviewed along with debts and assets. I was actually pretty surprised the home equity loan process was so intense, considering that the loan is based on a leveraged asset and it was only $67,000. The process from start to finish took about 30 days. This was actually an interesting transaction because once I finished the home equity loan, I made a cash offer on one of the two 12-acre tracts that I was interested in. The land was really right for me and a great price, so I didn't want to lose out on getting at least one of the 12-acre tracts. And I knew I could potentially add in the second tract after getting pre-approved by the landlender. So that takes us to the second part of the process, and that's getting the land loan. Know before I applied for the land loan that I had $67,000 sitting in my bank account because the lender is going to immediately ask for the bank statements as part of the application process, and you'll need to show that cash in your account for the down payment. In my situation, the down payment was 20%. Now, because I'm a residential realtor, the process for purchasing ranch land is new to me. So I asked my farm and ranch colleagues for a good lender, and I was fortunate enough to get a good lender by the name of Wade Sharp with Texas Farm Credit here in San Antonio. The land loan was actually easier for me than the home equity loan, and only took about 3 weeks from beginning to end. Again, they ran my credit, income verification, and debts and assets. With this purchase, the cost of the two tracts is $144,000, and I put $29,000 down. What I also learned is that since Texas Farm Credit is a credit union, their rates are very competitive. They gave me an interest rate of 4.9%, but then the rate is reduced additionally when they apply patronage, which is essentially a return of profit to the credit union members that the credit union makes. Okay, so here is the payment schedule for the land loan. And this is a 20-year loan, fixed rate at 4.9%, less the patronage that will come off. And so the amount for the monthly payment is $740. And so look at the bottom number there. The top number is just for the first month. This here is the actual settlement statement, or at least a portion of the settlement statement that just shows the contract sales price of $144,663.50. There's settlement charges of $3,274, and then there is the amount that I'm bringing into closing, which is $31,162. And so those are the three main items. Just know that you are going to have some closing costs. That's that $3,000 number there. And so the amount that I'm bringing to close is going to be including that closing cost. So here is the summary based upon the home equity loan and the land loan together. So we have the home equity loan at $444 and the land loan at $740, which brings a total monthly payment of $1184. Again, this is without the ag exempt taxes, which is very minimal. And then I'm going to have some leftover cash from the home equity loan of $37,000. And I call this discretionary. Essentially, I'm going to use it to improve the land. I still want to put a well on the land. Still want to do some other things to the land that may cost some money, such as putting a fence, putting in a road, a gravel road, and so forth. As part of the loan process, an appraisal was ordered to confirm that the sales price is in line with recent sales in the area. They also need a survey or a plat. In my situation, a survey was already provided and acceptable to the lender. So here's the survey for the land, and what I did is actually put some red boundaries where my two tracts are, tract 7 and tract 8, but this survey was acceptable to the lender, so that's what we used. Another part of the purchase process is receiving title commitment from the title company. The title company wants to make sure there are no liens on the property other than the loan you're taking, so they're going to run a title search to verify that. If liens do come up, they must be cleared prior to taking possession of the land. In my situation, there were no liens, but there were some oil gas leases that showed up. Essentially, these are just a heads up to me, since surface rights and mineral rights are two different assets and don't necessarily convey together. With my land purchase, I'm only owning the land rights, so the mineral rights are controlled by another entity. And be aware that mineral rights give certain powers for accessing your land in order to search and harvest minerals such as oil. So here's Schedule B, exceptions to coverage, and this is in the title commitment, and I put some red arrows there. This is referring to the mineral rights, which are separate from the surface rights. I'm only purchasing the surface rights, so you can see here that there are some leases and ownership to those mineral rights, and so that's where you're going to see these exceptions in the title policy. So the moral of the story is that there's more than one way to get a land loan, and this happens to be the way that worked well for me. If you have military service, you might check out the Veterans Land Board, which has a reduced down payment on land loans, minimum of 5% down versus a conventional loan of 20%. Well, I hope this video was helpful, at least in giving you an idea of the details of my experience and what to expect. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below, and either I or another YouTube user may be able to respond to it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.